children, welcome back to your next English class. This is your Nupur ma'am speaking here, and I think you remember about your class means chapter, what was going on, and from your Living English book this chapter was going on, For a Greener Tomorrow, which I have started in your Zoom class, right? And till here I think already it has completed, and then from here I will start in this video. Okay, listen. Your great grandfather wasn't content. I think you remember the story about this chapter. This was a story about a person, a main person. The main character is a grandmother, and she was telling about her own childhood life, and she was telling about her own father, right? And about the bonding of father with the garden, trees and all. Okay, I think you remember. See, your great grandfather wasn't content with planting trees in the garden or near the house. During the monsoons, he would walk into the scrubland and beyond the riverbed, armed with cuttings and saplings, and he would plant them out there, hoping to create a forest. Okay, but grazing cattle always finished them off. No one ever goes there, I said. Who will see your forest? Okay, we are not planting it for people to see, said my father. Her father told. She asked, no one ever goes there, so who will see your forest? And her father said, I am not planting this for the people. We are planting it for the earth, for the betterment of earth, and for the birds and animals who live on it and need more food and shelter. Father told me why mankind, and not only wild creatures, need trees for keeping the desert away, for attracting rain, for preventing the banks of rivers from being washed away. But everywhere people are cutting down trees without planting new ones. Go to the next paragraph. If this continues, then one day there will be no forest at all and the world will become one great desert. Okay, our father was telling, right, these lines, and I think you also agree with it. Then, the thought of a world without trees became a sort of nightmare for me. Okay, it's one reason why I shall never want to live on a treeless moon. I helped my father in his tree planting with even greater enthusiasm. One day the trees will move again. He said, they have been standing still for thousands of years, but one day they will move again. There was a time when trees could walk about like people. Then along came a terrible demon and cast a spell over them, rooting them to one place, but they are always trying to move. See how they reach out with their arms. On one of our walks along the river bank, about a mile upstream from here, we found an island, a small rocky island in the middle of the riverbed. Just underline this all, how many things, what the things are watchable from that place. Okay. And how many things were there. Dry during summers but flooded during the monsoons. During the summer time it was dry, but the monsoon time it was flooded totally, right? Flooded. Okay, a young tamarind tree was growing in the middle of the island. Remember, just underline these lines. Okay, in the middle of the island, which tree was there? Tamarind tree. And my father said, if a tamarind can grow here, so can other trees also. Okay, as soon as the monsoon arrived, whenever monsoon arrived, and while the river could still be crossed, we set out with a number of mango, laburnum, hibiscus and coral tree, saplings and cuttings, and spent the better part of a day planting them on the little island. We made one more visit to the island before the monsoon finally set in. Most of the plants looked quite healthy. The monsoon season is a best time for rambling about. At every turn there is something new to see. Out of the earth and rock and leafless bough, the magic touch of the summer rain brings forth new life and verdure. Verdure means, it is written here, verdure, greenery. Okay, you can almost see the broad-leaved vines growing. Plants spring up in the most unlikely of places. People took root on the roof. A mango sprouted on the windowsill. My father and I did not want to remove them, but they had to go if the house was to be prevented from falling down. If you too want to live in a tree, that's all right by me, said my mother, but I like having a roof over my head and I am not going to have it brought down by a hanging forest. Already I can see roots breaking in through the ceiling. The visiting trees were carefully removed and transplanted in the garden. Whenever we came indoors from our gardening and sat down to a meal, a ladybird or a caterpillar, the caterpillar, would invariably walk off. Invariably means always or without fail. Okay, invariably or walk off our sleeves and wander about the kitchen, much to mother's annoyance. There were flowers in the garden too. My mother loved fragrant flowers like roses and sweet peas and jasmine and queen of the night. But my father and I found trees more exciting. They kept growing and changing and attracting birds and other visitors. Going to the next paragraph, you can see the picture here. It is a monsoon season. What is the environment? You can see the picture, right? Okay, next. The banyan tree really came to life during the monsoon. Okay. The branches were thick with scarlet figs. We couldn't eat the berries, but the many birds that gathered in the tree, gossipy rosy pastors, quarrelsome miners, and cheerful bulbuls, and coppersmiths, and sometimes a noisy bellowing crow. Okay, just underline, note down how many birds' names are there. Okay, would feast them on. And when night fell and the birds were resting, the dark flying foxes flapped heavily about the tree. You can understand what should be the environment of a forest. You can understand, right? Then chewing and munching loudly as they clambered over the branches. The tree crickets were a band of willing artists who would start singing at almost any time of the day. At the height of the monsoon, the banyan tree was like an orchestra with the musicians constantly turning up. A small flute in my hand, I would add my shrill peeping to that of the crickets and cicadas. These are the insects. This is written also. Insects that produce a high-pitched sound, right? But they must have thought poorly of my peeping, because whenever I played, the insects fell silent. When I grew up, I was married and went to live with your grandfather in Bombay. We were there for many years. Bombay means right now it is Mumbai, And I could only visit my parents here once or twice in all that time. I had no brothers, so when my parents died, they left the house to me. It will be yours one day. Would you rather live here or in that poky little house in the town? Poky little house is a tiny cramped house, okay? Here, said Koki, but only if you are here too, Granny. The trees will be here, said Granny. And what about the island? Asked Koki. The trees you planted with your father, are they still there? Koki was asking. You can see them for yourself if you feel like a walk. But I will tell you what I found when I came to live here again after 20 years or more. I walked out of the old house and took the same path that my father and I used to take during our works. It was February, I remember, and as I looked across the dry river bed, my eye was immediately caught by the spectacular red plums of the coral blossom. In contrast to the dry riverbed, the island was a small green paradise. When I walked over to the trees, I noticed that a number of parrots had come to live in them. A small spotted deer scampered away to hide in a thicket, and a wild pheasant challenged. Pheasant means it's written here, a long-tailed bird. I think you know, right? who lives in the thick bushes, okay? Challenged me with a mellow, "Who are you? Who are you?" But the trees seemed to know me. I am sure that whispered among themselves and beckoned me nearer. I ran my hands over their barks, and it was like touching the hands of old friends. And looking around, I noticed that other small trees and wild plants and grasses had sprung up under the protection of those that we had planted there. The trees had multiplied, and the forest was on the move in all small corner of the world. My father's dream was coming true, and the trees were working again. Okay, so the chapter is over right now. If you have any problem anywhere to understand any meaning, you can ask me in comment box, or you can ask me in the Zoom class. Okay, next I will give you the question answer on the next day, so wait for the next day. Definitely I will come back some more interesting chapters and all. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye.